a pretty one, Ulysses. There it is.
Love you, honey.
Love you, honey.
Love you, honey.
Ooh, if you only knew.
Hello, BookTube. I'm Sean the Book Maniac, and welcome to my channel. This is my iHeartDORISathon TBR. Otherwise, you plebes call it iHEARTathon. This is Doris's original tag, and it's over maybe today or tomorrow. But let me tell you something about Japanese culture. In Japan, the whole Valentine's Day thing is divided up into two separate components. On Valentine's Day, the women give the men chocolates, or the girls give the boys chocolates only. And since 1978, Japan has instituted a companion, not holiday, but day, a commemoration, event, annual thing called White Day. 1 month later, March 14th, and White Day is when the boys and the men give chocolates to the women and the girls. So this is the official Sean the Book Maniac White Day version of iHeartathon. So March 14th, I am not going to set I think Doris's iHeartathon was for a week or 10 days. At the end of February, I'm just going to give myself the month of March, during which White Day occurs, to do my idiosyncratic, deeply affectionate, madcap, White Day version of iHeartDORISathon. So, love you, Doris. My March is pretty busy reading-wise, so I'm going to double up for quite a few of Doris's lovely prompts, but I am going to add a bit to my TBR in honor of my deep, abiding love for Doris. So let's look at her prompts. Number 1, BFF, a buddy read, a recommendation from a friend, or dinner with a friend. I've got buddy reads coming out the wazoo in March. I'm going to count those for this prompt. This is a buddy read in early March with Ange of Beyond the Pages, Helen Humphrey's latest novel, Machine Without Horses. I have an autographed copy, and Doris and I will be discussing this book when she comes to Tokyo in just over a week, or maybe a week from today. I can't wait for that, so that's one. Later in March, Ange, Britta and I will be buddy reading Mary McCarthy's famous novel, The Group. Stay tuned in my Friday reads for the update on buddy reading with Britta, but advance notice, we will be starting a buddy read of Ali Smith's Winter, which neither of us had gotten to, in early March. In the middle of March, Britta and I will be beginning maybe 4 or 6 week, but I can't remember, long-term buddy read of The Tale of Genji, which is more than 1,000 pages, I believe. And Doris, as you know, you and I are buddy reading the Faber stories, this one and this one for sure, Edna O'Brien's Paradise, and Salary Rooney's Mr. Sally, or Sally Rooney's Mr. Salary, or something like that, because they coincide with Irish readathon stuff. And probably more, but those buddy reads for sure. So one of those or all of those will count. Number 2, Book Bestie, a book from a favorite genre, a reread, or a bookish gift. There's going to be some bookish gifts happening. Stay tuned for that. But a favorite genre. A favorite genre. There's only one genre, literary fiction, so I'm not sure about that. But I have chosen a reread, and that is Mothering Sunday by Graham Swift. This was the last book that I read in 2017. I did it on audio, and I did almost all of it on the plane trip from Canada back to Tokyo, and absolutely loved it. Then bought the book, and I've always wanted to read the book and maybe do it as a text audio combo, but certainly read the book because it was a masterful novella that, you know, I was consuming it on audio on a trans-Pacific flight, so I think I need to experience it one more time in another way. So I'm going to try to fit that in this month, so that's for prompt number 2. 3, Young at Heart, a picture book, middle grade reader, or YA, and none of those are my style. or a book featuring an octogenarian, or a heart-healthy hike. Well, I do like walking. It's the only exercise that I do. I like to walk as much as possible. But I am choosing to double up. This is a book I'm reading for the Irish Readathon. Anne Griffin's debut, just published early this year, I believe, When All Is Said. And it's about an 84-year-old Irish dude. So I will count it for this as well. Sweet Treats, a book you've been wanting to read, or Buy Myself Chocolate or Flowers. Pretty much all of the books on my shelves that I have not yet read, I want to read. So kind of randomly, I chose something short. I didn't make any bookish resolutions, but if I did one without making it, it would be to have a collection of short stories on the go all the time. So this is a Canadian collection of short stories. As Birds Bring Forth the Sun and Other Stories by Alistair MacLeod. And Alistair MacLeod, he recently died. He hailed from Cape Breton Island in the Maritimes of Canada, and I haven't read a word the man ever wrote. Oh my God, he was born in North Battleford, Saskatchewan in 1936, the same age as my dad. But MacLeod died a couple of years ago. I have a very fond memory of meeting him at AWP in Vancouver about a dozen years ago. That just fills me with joy every time I think of it, and I will probably tell that story again when I start to get into this book. 5 is the one that gets me the most excited. It's called Cruising. An audiobook, a book with a vehicle on the cover, or go cruising. Well, I'm always cruising, Doris, but that's maybe for my other YouTube channel. So, yeah, I want to do audiobooks, and I don't have audiobooks that are featured in my Mammoth stuff. Mammoth-a-thon, or March of the Mammoths, that's it. And I don't have an audiobook particularly for the Irish Readathon, so randomly, here are some audiobooks that I will try, and I hope they're all on Scribd, and I hope to do one of these without bailing. I'm even more likely to bail on an audiobook because I may like the writing but hate the audio narration, or vice versa. So what I have recently saved that I would like to try: America Is Not the Heart, a novel by Elaine Castillo. I've heard pretty good things about that. I don't listen to the Book Riot All the Books podcast on a regular basis anymore, but I did check in with it a week or two ago, and they talked about a new novel, The Care and Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls by Anissa Gray. Not sure it will be for me. I haven't previewed the audio narration or done a whole bunch of research on any of these, but that one caught my eye. A subscriber who is just awesome at retweeting mine and a bunch of other booktubers' videos and commenting on them on Twitter. Leo, I think it was him that said he loved a novel set in a small town, Tennessee, Southernmost by Silas House. I'm interested in trying on audio my first novel by Nadim Aslam, The Golden Legend. And farther back in my Scribd library of saved books to try, Ohio by Stephen Markley. I've heard mixed reviews of it, but enough really, really enthusiastic reviews that I have to try it. Also, Hannah Petard's Visible Empire. I've heard very mixed reviews, but want to try it someday. And Rumaan Alam's novel, That Kind of Mother, which sounds very, very intriguing. So I will try one or two of those this month and let you know how I make out, but that would be my audio book requirement for iHeartDORISathon. 6 also got me all hot and bothered, Doris. A quickie! A graphic novel, novella, short story, romance, or a kiss. Well, I hope to have... I've got quite a bit of romance in my life, although I do have to say, just to be a bit of a Valentine's Grinch, I don't care about Valentine's Day at all. I just think it's stupid, and Kenji and I don't observe it at all. We have a romantic relationship, but not about being called upon by our societies to summon up emotions on a particular day of the year. It's disgusting. I hate all holidays, Christmas, everything. It's stupid. I hate all of it. But I love Doris, so I'm doing the White Day version of iHeartDORISathon just for Doris, not for Valentine's Day. And kisses are good. I'm doing a bunch of short stories, but I am also going to try to sneak in this graphic novel, if you can call it a novel, that I found out about on Cousin of Always Doing's channel just before Christmas, I believe, or just at the end of the year. What Did You Eat Yesterday by Humi Yoshinaga, which is a manga about gay Japanese men talking about Japanese food. Sounds fabulous. And it's obviously could read in about 20 minutes, so I'm going to do that this month. And the last one is Cover Love, a book with a beautiful cover by, or I think she gave us quite a bit of leeway to put our own spin on this one. I am going to try to add one more that was the most recent cover by, but that may be too much for me with all the other commitments, Irish Readathon and March of the Mammoths, but I am going to try because this is a very recent acquisition. My book haul video just went up a few hours ago. The Familiars by Stacey Halls. Charlotte of Tired Mama Tries to Read was not a big fan of it. Just because the cover is beautiful, it reminds me of The Essex Serpent and also that other historical novel that there was way too much buzz about last year about the mermaid and Mr. Hancock or something that were disappointments. But I hope to be pleasantly surprised by this, but it is also a bit of a chunkster, so I'm going to try it, and if I don't like it, then I will revert to one that I've already committed to for the Irish Readathon, which I chose because I needed one with green on the cover, so it'll be also a cover by. It's not a beautiful cover, but it's a nice cover. Elizabeth Bowen's novel, The Last September. So that's my backup. If I run out of time or don't like this. So, I am stoked, Doris. Are you feeling the love? Thanks for watching.